Hello, Slothrin and adult fans of LEGO. It's time for yet another episode of Sloth City. And what is happening today in Sloth City? I am sure you are asking yourself, because you know that it is after Christmas, and therefore I have had the opportunity to get different sets for Christmas, which indeed is true. And one of the things that I got for Christmas is one of the things that a lot of people were excited to get for Christmas, and I was too, and that's 123 Sesame Street. And it is not going to feature in this video, because you can go onto YouTube right now and you can probably find at least a dozen videos talking about 123 Sesame Street. And I don't have anything to add to that. I have not thought of anything new and unique to do with Sesame Street. Like I said, I'm happy to have it. Sesame Street was part of my childhood. It was given to me by my brother as a Christmas present, and I'm glad to have it. But it's not first on my list of things to be working with and things to be putting into Sloth City. So if you want to see that, go ahead and watch one of those other videos. I have other things going on in this one. And what are those? I'm sure you are now asking. And the answer is, I received a wonderful Christmas present between Haley Bricks and Dude Jude. Apparently, Dude Jude bought this from Haley and had her send it to me. And it is the Creator 31065 Park Street Townhouse set. And she also included her and I'm not sure if that's her husband, Brickanic, I don't know how that's pronounced, but the dog's name is Parker. There is Parker the dog. He is a very fine dog. And there is Haley. And they are here to be in Sloth City. And this is thank you to Dude Jude and Haley that I have this wonderful set now. And I was looking at the different things that you can do with it, because it's a 3-in-1. There are these different choices. And they each had things going for them that I liked. But for Sloth City, I was thinking this build is probably going to fit most easily into the city, because if you want to, and I would, this piece is on hinges and you can turn it into a full, closed-in build just by closing it. And then this is one side with the windows and the little wrought iron grating thing there. And then the stairs and the door are on the other side. And that makes, kind of a two-sided build where you kind of want to have access to it from either side. And there is a very good place here. This section of Sloth City is quite narrow and would fit in this area if I decided to rearrange, and would have easy access to do that. But the thing is, of course, this is set up to be a townhouse. And real estate is at a premium in Sloth City. And I was asking myself, what could this be? Because, yes, fine, it's great for people to have somewhere to live, but it really kind of needs to play double duty if it's going to be in the downtown area and not in Sloth Acres, residential section. And what it occurred to me after examining these two figures at length and being horrified by their choice of clothing, this dude, because he is wearing a pinstriped suit jacket with what appears to be footy pajama pants, and this woman, who they have unfortunately dressed as a giant 5-year-old, with this absolutely inappropriate to her age sort of a garment on top, with, the little ribbon, ties, and it seems to me that that blue around the middle of it would be just like right underneath her bosoms and would not be comfortable and would not be flattering. And those high-waisted pants also are not doing it for me if you are a grown-up. It might look cute if you're in the toddler crowd. So what needs to happen is whatever goes on with her, she is going to need to find an entire outfit change and give those god-awful clothes to some short children, small children, someone, get rid of those clothes and find herself, some adult clothes. But this dude, it occurred to me, after much thought, that I could base a storyline around this gentleman in his suit jacket with the pinstripes and his footy pajama pants. And the storyline that I came up with had the added benefit of giving me a business that I can put into this townhouse. And what I decided was that this gentleman is going to be operating a broadcast studio for the Sloth City News out of this building, where he also lives, and he lives and operates the Sloth City News with this gentleman that we have seen behind the camera on the remotes, because they are their own little outfit, their news outfit, and so they have, a broadcasting transmitter that is going to be, on top of their domicile/business. And then they also have the remote camera, satellite sort of deal where it can transmit and has all of the equipment that they need for doing transmissions and remotes with that. So that's why he has been out and about, and the other dude is running around in footy pajamas, because he's the one who is doing things like, "Back to you, Jim. Oh, thank you, Clark." And he's going to be, sitting down, and you're not going to see those footy pajamas. From the waist up, he looks very presentable, like probably a lot of us who are doing, Zoom and video things in this Zoom and video age, in this Zoom and video pandemic lockdown that hopefully a lot of us are on and are not out getting themselves infected with the COVID like my cousin did, nearly died, and he was one of those deniers. So I'm hoping that he is going to take it more seriously and actually stay at home now that he has learned that, yes, indeed, he is not as resilient and Superman as he thought. So, even though here in Sloth City we don't have to worry about COVID because everybody is made out of plastic and there are no pandemics, he still has a job, that would fit in a pandemic situation. So those of you who are out here in the real world and not living in Sloth City can still relate to him, because he has found his niche and his career so that he can, and his boyfriend or husband or whatever their deal is, can have their, domicile and their business in Sloth City and, do their own thing, and this guy never has to get out of his footy pajamas. So that is what is going to be happening next in Sloth City, is that this is going to get built and finished up and is going to get the accoutrements, like, some sort of a satellite dish on top and things like that, so that they can be having their broadcasts and doing their news things. And so that is one of the cool things that is going to be going on in Sloth City. And I was going to tell you about some other things, but this is already running on into, the over 10-minute mark. So we are going to just say goodbye to Jim and Clark and to Haley and Parker the dog. And again, I don't know if that's intended to be Hoosier or if that is intended to be Brickanic, her, I assume, husband. But goodbye to them. And I will just sit down here so I don't fall over like everybody has been falling over. And I will wrap this up. Thank you for coming to this episode of Sloth City. Of course, there will be another new episode of Sloth City quite soon because there are more things to show you that I wanted to give adequate attention to so that, you would be able to hear the storylines that are connected with that instead of just tacking it on as an afterthought and either that or making this way too long. So, what was I saying? Oh, shoot. I was saying thank you for coming to this episode of Sloth City, and I hope, my dear Slothrin and adult fans of Lego, that you have a good day, and I hope that you had a good holiday.